Alright, hey there YouTube. We're just gonna go through a quick tutorial on how to draw an eye anime style. So we're starting out now, we're changing our color to blue. This is Flash CS5 by the way, using a Bamboo tablet CTL-470. That's by Wacom. So we're gonna use blue because I use that as my starter color. So we're gonna start out, we're gonna start drawing out some basic lines here. We don't want it, this is gonna be a rough sketching, just to get the idea of the shape that I want. So yeah, this is one of the first times I've used a tablet, so my lines are a little screwy to start out with, but I soon get the hang of it. So here we are, we're just drawing the outer line of the shape of the eye. I like mine kind of an almond shape just because it's how I grew up learning how to do it. You can see here I bring down that lower line in the left hand side and then bring it up on the right. So the idea is that you're pretty much outlining the entire eye, but you're not gonna fully connect everything. Because if you were to color this 100%, you'd color in that section as white. So you can see here I'm bringing in the lines so that they kind of almost touch, but don't quite. Right here, that's just kind of like that shadow area, so where the fold of the eye is. Bringing out some eyelashes here, which pain in the butt to draw. Just by the way, especially if you're using a mouse, because there's a slight curve you kind of have to get. So you can see me kind of struggling with it now. Looks like I even just gave up entirely on it and said, oh screw it, I'll do it later. So here we are bringing in the inner portion of the eye. And here is going to be the darkest region of the eye, the actual pupil. Again, just getting really rough, quick lines in on here. We're using the pencil tool, by the way. Eraser right there, that's your E key. Pencil is Y key in the Flash CS5. So it's your upper highlight. Now we're bringing down, we're getting two lower highlights in the bottom left of the pupil. Just get it, get that particular anime eye shine. I use K to get the bucket tool, which doesn't work so well when you're using a pencil tool. Now just a lot of small lines to show out the area where the eyebrow would go. Again, just some really rough lines. So yeah, it's from stray marks. This is the fold where your eyebrow bone kind of goes towards that center part. I'm kind of see, I almost drew a nose there. Sad against it. I keep forgetting some of my anatomy. Try and look that up before I record this video, but whatever. So now I'm finally decided, alright, got the fast strokes down, let's get some eyelashes in here. Again, eyelashes totally optional. I used to draw these a lot thicker back in the day, but actually if you look at my old pencil drawing from a few years ago, but go in here, use the Q tool, selected everything, and just rotated the drawing upside down. Makes it easier for me to draw these lower eyelashes. That you gotta get that slight curve in there.
On how to live your life, how to live your life. Don't you know that life is full of surprises?
Alright, now we're straightening that back out, bring it upside right, and then now we're gonna really center it where I want it to be. It's great. Now I use Control A to select everything. E key to erase that where the eyebrow, kind of straighten it out. Note how the bottom of that lines up with the top of the eye. Now we're going through, selecting everything, Control A, changing the opacity down to about 50%. So we're going to create a new layer and lock that bottom layer, because remember, that's just your guideline layer. Zoom in with the Z key. I'm going to use the B for brush, changing our opacity back up to 100%, because these are going to be our final lines. We're going to use black, make it the brush a bit bigger, and here you'll see that I was using the wrong color. So we switched colors from white to black. Now we actually have black in the bucket area, so that's gonna what you're actually gonna paint with. So now we're just gonna kind of follow the lines. They don't have to line up exactly. I mean, the biggest thing is you just want to make it look like a smooth line going all the way across, which is why you'll see me come in, draw it, erase, note that I didn't line up right, so I erase a bit more, go back, redo the lines, try to make it kind of neat. I mean, it doesn't have to be perfect unless you really want it perfect. Remember, these are going to be eyes, so usually if you're going to draw it on an anime style head, you aren't going to do, unless you're doing a close-up, in which case, you know, you'll have to make your lines a little bit neater. But that's entirely up to you and what you want to do. So here I am, I'm just kind of cleaning it up a little bit more, darkening it out. I decided at this point that it was going to probably be the eye for a female character, to make the lines a little bit more bold, kind of show that she's got some eyeliner, mascara going on, which is why the eyelashes are so long. Going through, darken this up a little bit as well. Again, the big idea is just kind of make it look kind of smooth and natural. You don't want the viewer to realize that there's a bunch of different lines composed of this. Again, getting the eyeline around. And now you'll know it's kind of a wonky shape. I do go back and fix that, I believe. If I jump ahead, go ahead and do this pupil. Close it off, and then use the K tool to get the bucket and just fill in the pupil. Yep, here we go. Erasing the outside of the eye, using the bead, get back to the brush tool, and just straightening it back out, making it a little bit more oval-like. I had it come to too much of a point. By the way, link for the music will be in the description below. Here we go, just darkening up this line. Pretty straightforward. We want to make sure those are just, you know, one single line. Just zooming out, see how it looks. Here we get to the creativeness of the actual eye. So, you know, you can do different ways of doing this. I switched, by the way, that to paint fills. I didn't yet. I haven't switched to paint fills, but I forgot that I was using a brush on top of a brush. So we're going to actually switch this to paint behind. So this will let you paint, see, behind the black lines that we put down earlier. I saved the file because you want to save that often in Flash. You know, it likes to crash on you every once in a while. Just do that, hit the K tool, bring up the bucket, fill in the area that you outlined. Again. Yeah, like I was saying before, you can get more creative with how you do these eyes. The way I've always grown up doing it, just because it's a really quick and easy way to show some depth, is to just use 3 colors in the same, or 3 shades of the same color. The darkest is going to be towards the top where it hits the underneath of the actual brow of your forehead. I like to bring out the color just below the end of the pupil. And now here we go, we're going to switch to one of the lighter colors, fill in the rest of it. Nice and simple. You can zoom out, see, make sure it looks alright from a distance, which I think it does. Good enough for what I like anyway. Now we get in a little bit more, to make it a little better looking. I drop down by 2 shades, switch to a small brush size. Now, to paint normal, this is where having a tablet works wonders for you. You're just going to click to zigzag lines, following most of the pupil. Give about a few centimeters between the pupil and where you're drawing. This just kind of shows a little extra brightness, I think. I used to get a lot more creative with this, but for what we're doing today, I just wanted it nice and simple. Keep the video down in length to, you know, about 15 minutes, hopefully. So we're zooming back in after we zoomed out. Wanted to see how it looked from a distance. So we're zooming in. I think I go. Okay, so we go back to black. I think we're gonna go ahead and draw the eyebrows next.
You can do it right now.
Yep. Again, these are just going to be quick, shallow lines because usually your eyebrows aren't too thick. So if you do want them to be thicker, you can draw long, make your lines longer. I personally don't like that. So what you really need to note here is, quick, short lines branching up and away from the center.
You can do it right now.
And so now I know that it's kind of hard to see what I've actually drawn. So we stop showing the outline that we've laid down before. Go ahead and put lines back in, and now you don't want this to be too thick because you want the viewer to see that there are individual lines here. That way, it kind of resembles hair in that way. I'm gonna go zoom back in. I think I'm gonna take care of the eyelashes now. Yep. And now I basically know at this point how long I want the eyelashes. Just from plenty of practice. I see that I had that one real strong eyelash, so we kind of went back. And I also have a few that look like they're sticking out, so we go ahead and connect them to the body of the eye. And again, I mean, that's just a personal choice. You don't have to have it actually connected. I just chose to do it that way. Now, it probably would have benefited if I had selected everything and rotated again, but I didn't. So, whatever. It's art. It doesn't have to be perfect. Especially if you know me, I kind of go with the flow, So I bring it all the way out, and just keep going until I feel like I like it. Here we go. We're gonna put in those nice shiny lines, or eye spots. So we use the eraser tool. Just erase everything. Make a nice circular motion. It should kind of autocorrect for you. Bring out a lower one, and don't quite touch it, so it kind of gives the outline. Zoom out. Make sure it looks nice and pretty, which I like it. I don't know if you do, but I do. I think that's the important part. It's my personal style. So we're gonna move the eye, make it smaller, make it a little more compact. So any of those, small minor details that we kind of messed up, you can't really tell as well. We can change the size from 1080 by 720, bring it down to 550 by 360. Select everything, center it, and we're going to delete our guideline layer. I will use Control-Enter here, lock the layer first. Control-Enter to make sure that it exports just fine, and end it. Thanks for watching.